Session, we will be looking at profiles, the properties and the styles, and likewise, we will talk about the profile view, properties, and its styles. To start with, let's deal with the profile first. I'll select the design profile, right click, and go for profile properties. Within the profile properties, we have the information tab and we have the style here, which we'll talk about much later. The profile data, this is just a summary of the profile, like the offsets, which is within the alignment. It's zero offsets from the alignment. The style, which we said we will talk about soon, and the start, the end, the minimum elevation, the maximum elevation, this for the profile, and the parent horizontal alignment, which is this. It's also indicated here, the start and the end. Now within design criteria, this we talked about during the design session, and profile locking in case some changes have been made to the alignment. So you may want to select one of these options to suit your intent. Now within the object style, we have currently design profile. You could edit, create, or copy, whichever suits your intent. Let's go for edit to see what's happening within that design profile object style. Information tab, the design. Now for the tessellation, it's used to set the representation of 3D curves, just for 3D dimensional display of alignment data. You may want to enter a small number to see a smooth 3D curve, or a large number to see a rougher approximation for this design tab, but leaving it as one is fine. Now for the markers, if you have seen the alignment um, style, to talk about markers, and this is um, can I say, blocks or symbols used to annotate some of these profile points, the end points, the end profile, the begin profile, and the high point, the low point, and other markers you could find here and make changes to them. I wouldn't really dive into this so much because we have made some illustration as to it during the alignment um, session. Okay, now this for the arrowhead, and within display you could bring in some things to show on your screen, or you toggle them off, and these are for the colors, and so many other things you could change here. And this for the summary. When you're done, click on OK. Now this is for the profile style. Okay, and OK. I would like to make changes to some of these things. Perhaps you'd appreciate them. Okay, it's already affected. We have red for the straights, and we have yellow for the curve. And we're back to the straight again. Now we can see the slope 1 to 78.05 slope. This is not actually what is commonly used. It's presented in percentage. To do that, we would right click on this profile again, go for we have edited the profile style, which is the design profile we just talked about some few seconds ago. Now we're going for edit labels. Within the alignment styles or alignment label set, there we explained what label sets is. That is a conglomeration, a composition of labels that would be applied to an alignment or a profile. So here we're dealing with a profile. Now within the profile labels dialog box here, we have so many types we could, so many, yes, types we could label, or so many labels we could bring in, and some of them are here, but let me say all of them are here for the profile, and these are the styles for the major stations. Now for the lines, if you like to label the lines, especially when it comes to the slope, this currently is 1 in X, which is the style that has been adopted for this labeling. We could change it using this price tag and select percent grade. And all the styles are actually presets. You can make changes to them. So we go for OK here and we select OK here. This goes back to what we are familiar with, 1.2% and 0.43%. All right, click again, go to the labels, and we can make changes to other styles here, and we could bring in some other ones here. Remember, if you make changes to the styles here and you bring it in, is the same thing as using this price tag. Okay, then other uh, parameters that you could change or down the line here. Yes, you could save the label sets for subsequent profiles you may want to create. When you're done, click on OK, cancel. Okay, now that is for the profile itself. That's for the profile itself. Now for the profile view, which is the graph that the profiles are presented in. To deal with it, we would grab the profile view, which is this graph, right click, go for profile view properties. Within profile view properties, we have the information tab and we have the stations. This is if you want to lock the profile view to the stretch of the alignment from the start of the alignment to the end of the alignment. But if you don't want that, you could make it a user specified range, and you type in whichever station you want as the start and the end. The same thing for the elevations, and these are for the profiles tab. You have the list of the profiles within your profile view. Currently we have the design profile, the red, and the green, which is the existing ground level. Okay, some other information about, or can I say summary of this profile and this profile are here. So we have the elevation, the station, start and end, the alignment that has led to these profiles. We have them here, and the label for this currently for the existing ground level doesn't have any label, and for the profile, the design profile, these are the labels that are appended to it. And the style also, the object style itself is here. This for the existing ground profile and this for design profile. So this is a summary of what the profiles are. Now for the bands are the information appended to the top or the bottom of the profile view, like the elevations, the stations, and so many other bands you could attach to the profile view. The list of the bands are here, and the styles for some of these bands would be listed here also, which we could create a new one for ourselves or edit. So we have brought in some the during our session. Then we could make changes to some of these things, like the texts. Um, okay, this is for the title texts. We could make changes to it. Remember this famous label style composer? You could go through it and make changes to it. And these actually for this text down here. Okay, um, and for this title text, it's actually meant to be to the left of the band, and this here, just like I said, is for the labels itself. Now to bring the title text on, you may set it on using this bulb icon, and so many other components that you could turn on here. But the more you turn them on, the more this the screen would look clumsy. So it's good that you keep it simple. Okay, and the same thing is applicable to the other band type. Okay, you could save also, and also import the band sets, the presets band sets within the software. So you could bring one in and then make changes to it. That's the function of the import band set. You could maybe have a particular one you're comfortable with, but you want to make little switches to it, then you could bring it in using the import band set icon here. Then you bring it in. After you bring it in, then you make changes to it and save it such that subsequent usage would be with the one you have saved. Okay, and within this hatch, you could hatch the cut area and the fill area within your profile view. Let me demonstrate how that could be done using the cut area here. I could rename it, make it just cut without the hyphen and the three in front of it. Then the upper boundary would be set using the existing ground level, and the lower boundary using the CESA lane, which is the profile and the design profile. Okay, then you could also set your fill area. I'll rename it, and the upper boundary would be CSA lane, which is the design profile, and the lower boundary the existing ground profile. Okay, there's some shape styles here too that you could do some changes to, make some changes to uh, the pattern and the colors for the pattern. Now for the pattern, when you click on this field here, you could go for some other patterns you may wish to use for your hatch pattern. Okay, then this for the scale. If you want to make it larger or bigger, larger or smaller, you could use that scale there. And this for the angle. This is just basically about hatch or hatching generally. Okay, then cancel all of this, then okay. Then you see the hatch button, labeling the fill and the cuts within your profile view. And this pretty much for the um, this pretty much for the profile view properties. Now for the profile view styles, we have the information tab, we have the graph, and within the graph, this is just about the scale you set down here. When you set the scale to 1 to 1000, then you would find 1 to 100 here, and this would be 100, which is the horizontal scale. Remember, the vertical exaggeration is 10, meaning that the distance between each of these lines vertically is 10 rather than 1, and it is just for exaggeration, for a better view. You don't want everything to be collapsed so much that you may not be able to read information on your profile view. So hence it has been exaggerated 10 times. Okay, now this is the profile view direction. Is it left to right or right to left? Left to right is commonly used. And this for the grid, if you like to clip the grid. Currently, the grid has been clipped, let me say, vertically. So when the grid gets to a profile, it stops. That's me of clipping it. So you could clip to the highest, and you could also omit in padding area. For the padding area, it means that you're setting some distances above, or let me say an allowance. Yes, let us take padding as an allowance. So here, for the grid padding here, above minimum elevation of 2, meaning that there is 2 extra distance for the profile, view rather. So when you take everything off, then the profile would be fit within the profile view without any allowance around it. So let's take that off completely. Okay, okay. And these are offsets. This is for vertical grid and this is for the horizontal grid. Now this for title annotation. The title annotation is this one, CSE lane profile 1, and this changes. Sorry, for the title, for the title itself, the title of this profile view is the CSE lane profile 1. Now for other titles like the axis, for the horizontal axis and the vertical axis, you could have the changes and the elevations down here. To bring some of those titles on screen, you have to come to display here and toggle them on. Some of them are turned off. Just like I said previously, if you turn on a lot of things here, it would be so mumbled and jumbled up. So you may want to keep some things hidden to have a very nice simple view. Okay, coming back here, you could change the text height, you could change the name here. So to change the name of the profile view, you could use this icon here. Remember this text component editor, you could change it. So we have the parent name, you could add the drawing scale, you could add the profile view end station, graph view name, a lot of things you could add here, which are properties. And remember, all these things, they have code, just like the parent name has its own code, which is what is currently selected on screen. If you make changes within it, it wouldn't work well. So this profile one is just it's just an attachment to it. So if I were to make this one maybe, let me say vertical alignment, is it correctly spelled? Vertical alignment. Okay, okay, and then apply. You see that it comes on screen. So the CSE lane, which is the parent alignment name, is still the same thing. It's a code. You don't want to make changes to it. If you don't want it, you go for another property, not that you type something within this text. Okay, now the location is top, the justification is center, the x and y offsets, and do you want border around it, the gap of the border to the text, and so many other things. So this for the graph view title, and this is for the axis title. So we have changes currently turned on. That's why we can see it here. So this for the top, this for the bottom, and there is left and right. So depending on what you want, you would make appropriate changes to it here. Okay, and this for the horizontal axis. So we have at every 25 meters change for the major and also for the minor. So here at every 25 meters, the profile view would be labeled, or let me say the graph would be shown. Okay, so if I set this to 50 and set this to maintain this one to be 25, let me click on apply. So you see that, let me click on OK. You see that from here to here now is 50, and at every 25 meters there is a grid. So it is labeled at every 50 meters and there are grids at every 25 meters. But the disadvantage is that you may not have the information based on your band style. You may not have information at the minor intervals. Okay, I'll select the profile view again, go to profile view styles. You can make further changes to it here, um, like the justification, the text height, text style, and what have you. Then the same thing for the vertical axis. For the major, we have at every 2 meters, so 234, 236, 238, and the minor we have at every 1 meter, so this also not labeled. Okay, then for the display, whatever you want to turn on, and the colors, the line type, and so many other basic AutoCAD features. And this is the summary of whatever you must have done along the different tabs. When you're done, click on OK, and you should see your changes come to light on your screen. That's for the profile view style. Thank you.